Welcome in, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma here, back live with some severe weather coverage. It's been a couple days, but we now have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of eastern lower Michigan. If you guys are just tuning in, feel free to hit that like button. Let us know where you guys are watching from this evening. We are watching a particular line of storms here that is over Saginaw Bay right now, not making impact to land, but it is moving towards land rather quickly. So go ahead and read off the instructions here. The National Weather Service in Detroit, Pontiac has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Huron County. And that's going to be in effect till 6:45 p.m. At 5:27, a severe thunderstorm was located 10 miles southeast of Au Gres, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Hazards here are going to be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. It is radar indicated. And expect damage to roof siding trees if this does produce those winds. Locations in the line of the storm include Caseville, 535, Pigeon, 545, Elkton, 550, Bad Axe, and Kindy around 6:05. Other locations in this severe thunderstorm warning include Pinnebog, Port Crescent State Park, Grindstone City, Fillion, and Bayport. Also, remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you do spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small and central room in a sturdy structure until the storm passes. Once again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, penny-sized hail, 0.75 inches, and a tornado possible with the storm. And we do currently have a view on this line of storms. There's a nice looking lowering on it right now from our Bayport camera. We'll go ahead and bring that in real quick. Just give me 1 second here to get this set over. Okay, there we go. So this is the severe thunderstorm that is currently rolling into the area. If you guys are in the Bayport area especially, this is heading for you guys first, as well as Caseville, Pigeon, and Elkton. So that western side of Huron County. Again, this is going to be the western portion of Huron County in effect until 6:45 p.m. Right there on the horizon is a gnarly looking shelf cloud. If you take a look at our other view here, oh gosh. There we go. There's the other other side of the raggedy looking shelf cloud over there. This is looking more to the north. The other camera looks a little bit further to the west, and particularly we would be looking for any sort of water spout back behind this edge of this line. So we'll keep an eye on this as it moves into view. But at the current time, there is no water spouts on the waters right now. Again, I'll have it in the side cam or my side monitor on the side of the screen over here. So again, if you are in Huron County inside of this orange polygon, please be taking shelter. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail, and a tornado possible. We take a look at our not correlation coefficient, but our velocity. I'll just unmute myself so Ryan can hear me as well. If we go ahead and take a look at our velocity signature here, which is our measurement of the wind, you'll notice that there is a little bit of spin out there on the front edge of this line. We're going to get a new scan in here soon. I'm actually going to go down to Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be just a tad bit closer here. Or maybe not. Should be. It's about the same distance from each radar. We have the radar up in Gaylord, the radar down in Detroit, so it's really hard to see what's happening at the surface with this line of storms. So again, ground truth matters, and that's why we do have these weather cameras out here in Huron County. We do have one down in Seawaying as well. That was looking more to the southwest. That'd be more towards these storms heading into the Freeland and Bay City and Saginaw area. But again, we do have the Bayport camera. We also have one up in Port Austin. That's a PTZ camera. Is currently looking at this isolated cell that really isn't doing much north of Port Austin. But again, if you are watching from Huron County, we're always looking for more weather cameras, especially in a portion of the state where radar coverage is lackluster at best. So if you would like to reach out, have your business sponsor a weather camera, feel free to contact Ryan. His email is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. Also, again, this is a line of storms that's moving rather slowly. So if you are out in front of it, you have some time to prepare. Again, that's why this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another hour and about 10 minutes. So another 70 minutes here. Again, Bad Axe closer to you guys well after that 6:15 time frame as it moves slowly off to the east northeast. Also, if you guys have the Michigan Storm Chasers app, free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. We did push out a bulletin in advance of this line, so if you guys have a saved location up here, primarily in Huron County and northern Tuscola County, you might have gotten a notification that, hey, we're monitoring this line well before this warning was issued. So now that the warning is issued, we are now in severe ops, primarily for gusty winds and perhaps a couple water spouts moving into the Bayport area. Again, right now on our camera in Bayport, this is courtesy of Bayport Fish Company, and the other one is courtesy of Garja Technologies. Very nice looking shelf cloud out there at the current time. I should change these so they're kind of actually representative of what direction is which. There we go. Had these opposites that are confusing me a little bit. So this is west and this is north. So this is basically the exact same location, exact same shelf cloud. Flipping it back and forth. Looks a lot better and more defined further to the west. So I'll be heading in towards this Bayport and Sebewaing area versus points to the north here. But again, this whole line is in the severe thunderstorm warning, whether you are next to the orange box or inside the orange box. You do want to be watching this line of storms. Water spouts are possible, but again, shelf cloud usually a sign of very strong gusty winds within this line of storms, upwards of perhaps 60 miles per hour. And this whole line of storms is broken in nature, so some places will get showers and storms and some places won't. That's just kind of the reality of today. This line of showers and storms extends all the way down here into Ionia and Montcalm counties, primarily more in the shower activity here in the capital cities region. Stronger shower to thunderstorm moving through Midland and Auburn right now. Some gaps on each side, of course, and then our main severe thunderstorm moving into Bayport here just around 5:37 p.m. So if you do know anybody up in Tuscola and Huron County, especially Huron County where this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, feel free to pass the word along. Let them know. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Tornado possible is listed in the severe thunderstorm warning. Does not mean there's a tornado on the ground. Just means that there is a chance for these water spouts that may be happening on the waters to eventually move on shore briefly and produce, a brief tornado or two. It happens every once in a while, especially up here in the thumb, where you see a little bit of enhanced vorticity, just the way the thumb is laid out, geographically speaking, here in the area. So at the current time, though, looks like it is primarily gusty winds on the waters. We'll have to keep an eye out immediately behind the shelf cloud for any sort of water spouts that could develop, but at the current time, not seeing anything yet. So you can see that little right edge of this shelf cloud also shows up on the left edge of this camera here. So that is kind of to give you an idea of our full vantage point from these Bayport cameras. We can pretty much see a good 180 degrees in this area. So good views. Current time, though, not seeing any water spouts that are fully condensed. Just looks like a gnarly looking shelf cloud at the current time. Very picturesque. Also going to pull up some of the community reports you guys have behind the scenes just to see if anyone has sent anything in. Waiting for them to load. If you guys, okay, never mind. I was going to say, if you guys have a report, feel free to test it in the MSC app, but they just loaded, so we're good now. Just looking at some of you guys' reports behind the scenes in the area, some nice looking cloud structure in the Bay City area. A report of light rain with a photo in the Midland area just south of town. There's 7 reports there, actually. Bentley with 7 reports of light rain or rain or windy right now in the Midland area. Thank you, John and Bentley, for those reports in the Midland and Golden areas there in Bay and Midland counties. That's this cell here heading into Freeland. And again, Freeland has PTSD from all the storms you guys have had this year. You've had, I think, 3 different events where there's been some sort of wind or some sort of tornado that's occurred in Freeland. So this is another heavy thunderstorm moving into your area right now. Good news is not seeing much on the way of a rotation at the current time. Just looks more of outflow winds, so gusty winds. That still could be gusting up to about 30 or 40 miles per hour. We'll keep an eye on it. Main concern right now, though, is the gusty winds, perhaps severe in nature, moving in towards Bayport and Caseville at the current time. Still watching the shelf cloud here moving into view, closer and closer to the Bayport camera. And still not a whole lot happening other than the neat looking structure. Yeah, if you're in Bay City, you actually might be split for the most part if this continues to move more south than east. Here's downtown Bay City. We do actually have a Bay City cam as well. Let's see if I can get that pulled up real quick. The Bay City camera has that storm out in the distance. And this is also courtesy of Guardian Technologies. Is looking to the north. Saginaw Bay is out there in the distance. That is the thunderstorm that is currently severe warned down there at the bottom of your screen. That's moving away from the camera. The other storm, which is closer to Bay City, is actually just behind the camera right now. So you can see some of the dark clouds here at the top of the screen. They are just sliding by Bay City at the current time. So Bay City, you guys should be rather unscathed by that. Again, the main concern right now is perhaps severe storms moving in to the Bayport, Pigeon, Elkton, Caseville areas here in western Huron County. If you guys have been doing the rain dance here in portions of central Michigan, now's your chance to get in on the action. We also have other showers popping up in northern Michigan. These are more along that cold front right now. You'll notice, actually, it is currently 84 in Grayling, 82 in Cadillac, 82 in Manistee. But if you go further north, 72 degrees in Traverse City, 73 in Beulah, as cold as 70 degrees over in the Charlevoix area, 72 in Harbor Springs, 72 up in Sheboygan, and even up into the low 60s across portions of the eastern upper peninsula. So that cold front is coming through, and that's sparking more shower and thunderstorm development along that cold front right now. These storms, though, are well below severe limits at the current times. They're more showers more than anything. But again, we could see a couple stronger storms pop up along this line. It's just right now with these storms closer into the warm sector, they're more likely to be severe. In fact, it is 88 degrees right now at the Saginaw International Airport. So that's very hot. Dew points up into the low 70s. It's 82 over 72 right now in Bad Axe. So that is a very humid environment and definitely a lot of fuel out there for this storm to sustain itself as it moves inland towards central Huron County. So it's moving east-southeast. So that southern edge of the severe thunderstorm warning box best shows its motion. It shouldn't move further south than that. If so, they might have to add the rest of southwestern Huron County into that severe thunderstorm warning. But you can also see on velocity radar, our reds and greens here, the measurement of wind. The brighter greens right now moving directly into Bayport and Caseville. If I rocket back and forth, it should stay mainly inside of this orange polygon box. But again, if you're in Sebewaing, Owendale, and Bach further to the south, I would be just on alert just in case. You'll still see some precipitation nonetheless. And if need be, if those winds continue to sag a little bit further south, we could see an extension of the warning a little bit further south as well. The shelf cloud is now directly over the camera. Trees are starting to gust a little bit here. Shelf clouds above. Switch it over to our north cam. Again, these cameras courtesy of Bayport Fish Company and Guardian Technologies. Thank you guys for sponsoring these weather cameras. There is your shelf cloud with a severe thunderstorm warning, and check out that torrential downpour right behind this leading shelf. Shelf cloud is usually a sign of gusty winds moving into the region. If you are out and about right now, it's a good idea to be seeking shelter inside until this line of storms does pass. If there are truly 60-mile-per-hour winds in this line of storms, Again, that could bring down more trees and perhaps a weak tornado. You do not want to be next to any sort of trees when these winds come plowing in. So take note, take shelter, and stay in shelter until that polygon, that orange polygon, is expired. And that seagull is going to get really impacted by the wind there. It doesn't move out of the way. You see some of the rain starting to come down on the camera now as well. We'll switch it back to the west cam, which shows the wind a little bit better there in the trees. Still fairly gusty, and you can actually see on the water here all the ripples from the wind as it continues to increase. It's got that little increased ripple effect across the water with the streams that are also trickling across the top of the waves. So that's how you can tell if these winds are starting to increase here as the cloud heads over top. So some ground truth here on our Bayport camera, where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. Switch it back to radar for those who are just tuning in. Again, welcome in. It is currently 5:46 p.m. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman here live with some severe weather coverage here on August 16th, 2026. The National Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm warning. It is trimming Port Austin. Port Austin, you are not in the severe thunderstorm warning. Everywhere else is good. So you can see if I rock it back and forth here, there's the old severe thunderstorm warning. There's the new one. It basically just trimmed Grindstone City and Port Austin from the severe thunderstorm warning, so you guys are good if you're up there. The storm is sliding a little bit to your south. Now, if this continues to move to the south, as mentioned, this will need a new extended warning a little bit further south. But yes, we do have severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds. They also are continuing the tornado possible tag at the current time. And yeah, hail still under penny size or less. If you guys are watching from the thumb, feel free to let us know where. If you guys are in bad, oh, actually, let me see if they have updated timings on this. They do. So updated timings on the severe thunderstorm warning that just got updated. Caseville and Pigeon here in the next 2 to 5 minutes. So this is around 5:50 p.m. I would say now for Caseville, closer to that 5:50 time frame for the Pigeon area. Elkton closer to 5:55. And if you're watching from, I believe that's the county seat of Huron County, Bad Axe, 6:10 p.m. is the arrival time there. So about a half hour still, half hour to 20 minutes left in the central Huron County region. Speeds still off to the east-southeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. Also watching this storm in the Saginaw area. That is actually starting to get a little bit of wind on that as well. I may push out a custom bulletin for those who are watching in the Saginaw area. It's a little bit impressive. Echo top on that. 33,000 feet. Not much in the way of hail. Spectrum with ZDR, sorry. ZDR says it's neutrally buoyant, so it looks like it's staying together at the current time. Again, that's moving into the Saginaw area. And the rain is coming down on the Bayport cam as well as the wind. We'll switch back to that real quick. Some ground truth for you guys. See, a couple of you guys are watching from Ubly. I know it's pronounced like ugly. I remember that from the past. Dark in Milwaukee. Yeah, absolutely. For those who have our MSC app, you might be getting an alert if you are in the Saginaw area here in just a second. filter for statements and warnings from the switch back to radar for you guys. So I'm watching this storm right now in the Bay City area that continues to strengthen. Put it out there for 30 minutes. So if you are in the Saginaw area, you're about to probably get an alert, a weather bulletin from us here on your MSC app. You're going to have to have a saved location, or you yourself have to be in the Saginaw area for you to receive it. And it is going to be sent right now. So if I go ahead and maybe I can't. It won't let me. Darn. Oh, wait. Yes, it will. There we go. So here is our MSC app side of things. There is your new weather bulletin that was just posted by us here at MSC. For the next 30 minutes, tracking some weather activity about 5 miles northeast of Saginaw. I should say northwest, that's okay. It's also northeast of Saginaw as well. It's kind of this whole entire line. It's moving southeast, east-southeast about 35 miles per hour. We also have 1 cloud-to-ground lightning strike per minute and gusty winds of 40 miles per hour possible with this storm. Again, continue to monitor our stream here at MSC for alerts as well as the National Weather Service. But again, our main concern is right now up here in the area of Pigeon and Bayport. You'll notice here on the Pro radar here at MSC, you do have the swipe option. So if you also have the Pro version on your MSC app, you can also do this if you want to switch between 2 radars at the same time and just do the swipe. So wind, rain, back and forth. So here's your rain radar. You can switch it over very quickly by just swiping over it and seeing, hey, there's some brighter greens there. There's where your heaviest of wind is occurring. So very, very neat tool. Not many other weather apps. In fact, I don't know if any other weather apps actually have the swipe tool on it. So again, MSC exclusive here. No other weather apps do have it. If you have the Pro version, feel free to check it out. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the GR2 software. And again, if you are tuning in from the Huron County area, your severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for 60-mile-per-hour wind, penny-sized hail, and perhaps a tornado possible. Right now, in terms of rotation, I'm not really seeing it. There is a little bit of, perhaps we'll say funkiness happening just to the north of Sebewaing. A little too far away from the radar site to actually see what's happening closer to the ground. It's the limitations of radar that we have out in the thumb. So it could be a little bit tighter. We just don't know. We don't have the radar capabilities here underneath 6,000 feet here in the thumb region. So, you know, if the National Weather Service was able to get another radar site, I'm sure they would probably choose the Tri-Cities region here because it would be filling a much needed gap in the coverage. But right now, again, we're working with what we have here in 2026, a radar up in Gaylord and a radar down in Detroit. There's also a radar over in Canada that is also about equal distance away as well. It's over here just to the north of London near Stratford. So that's where that radar is located. You can see it's about equal distance away from both the Gaylord and the DTX radar as well. So there's not really many radars that are close, even if we did use the Canadian radar. So we're kind of working what we got. Again, ground truth matters a lot. If you guys do have true or have reports to send in, please utilize the MSC app. Also, our comment section over on Facebook is also very helpful. Warning in effect, by the way, until 6:30. Sorry. Nope, 6:45. It is moving rather slowly. So again, if you are over in the Bad Axe area and points surrounding, you do have still a little bit of time to prepare if it still is severe warned at this time. What I'm seeing right now is considerable shift to the south. I would not be surprised if they did extend the severe thunderstorm warning a little bit further to the south. Getting a lot of different videos and pictures in from the Bay City and Saginaw area right now, behind the scenes, torrential downpours. We also have a nice looking shelf cloud here that is sideways, but I don't know how to rotate. I don't think I can rotate it manually in the app still. I'll just show you guys. So here you go. Nice looking shelf cloud. You guys have to tilt your head a little bit, but that is the shelf cloud rolling into Saginaw right now. So this is courtesy of an anonymous reporter, one of their first reports using the MSC app. Thank you very much to that anonymous user about 2 minutes ago in Saginaw. We also have mostly cloudy and hot being reported, but there also is a note that says storm off to the northeast. You can kind of see the dark clouds there out in the distance on that. Thank you very much to another anonymous user in Freeland. The other videos that I was checking out before I send them live here, some torrential downpour in Bay City area. Thank you very much to Walker B for that view. And this one, I believe, is the heavy rain. Yes, there we go. That one is courtesy of another anonymous viewer in the Bay City area. Thank you guys so much for utilizing the app. Nice cloud structure there in the Cairo area. And that is looking off to the west-southwest towards that storm in the Zilwaukee and Saginaw region right now. And again, we did issue a weather bulletin. It's a personal bulletin that we push out here from from us here at MSC to those who are in the path of what we think is a thunderstorm that is at least worth monitoring. So again, if you are in the Saginaw, Zilwaukee, Munger, down to Reese, Bridgeport area, and you have our app, you likely got this notification on your phone. So you guys are aware that this line of storm is moving in. But again, back to the north, we'll go ahead and switch back to our main radar. It almost looks like this line is to the north is actually starting to slide down to the south and might, in the future, try to congeal into one big line. Yet to be determined. That could be in the next 2 hours it might take for it just to congeal. But at the current time, nothing of concern in terms of congealing yet. And right now, the best chance for gusty winds, just making sure this is an updated radar frame. Yes, it is. Just to the north of Seaboing, in between Bayport and Seaboing, and also down here heading into north side of Zilwaukee and Saginaw. Again, there's no alerts yet from the National Alert Service out of Detroit. There is an outflow boundary on it as well, I can see here. If you take a look at this blue line that stretches across the camera here, across the radar here, you can notice that is your outflow boundary. So the winds may precede the precipitation. I hear somebody in the background. Is that Ryan?
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. Do you have a different mic? You sound like you're using a different microphone.
How about now?
Ah, there we go. There's the fix.
firing the good old computer up after 3 days off is reset some of my settings. So
That'll do.
that will do it.
Hey, speaking of alerts being issued for the Saginaw area, there we go. Finally, a special weather statement.
Have you seen all the reports coming in off our app yet?
I
or no?
have, yes. They're very nice. We appreciate everyone for sending those in. The statement reads as followed. The strong thunderstorms will impact southwestern Tuscola, southern Bay, and northern Saginaw and southeastern Midland counties through 7 p.m. At 6 o'clock, Doppler radar is tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from Munger to near Zawaukee to near Freeland, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazards are wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. It is radar indicated. Minor damage to outdoor objects is possible with small hail, and gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations in the special weather statement include Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Frankenmuth, Vassar, Auburn, Reese, Freeland, Essexville, Zawaukee, Bridgeport, Munger, Quinnipiac, Tuscola, Carlton, Swan Creek, Garfield, Guilford, Arthur, and Buena Vista Township. Also, people attending the Saginaw African Cultural Festival should seek safe shelter immediately. Torrential rainfall is also occurring with the storm and may lead to localized flooding. Once again, 50-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail for the Tri-Cities area, primarily Saginaw. That wind continues to uptick a little bit, even more on the velocity scan. For those who missed it, we're looking at about 4,600 feet off the ground here in the Zawaukee area. Anything below 4,600 feet we can't see on radar just because of Earth's curve and the beam height being 0.5 degrees from the source. So it's angled up at 0.5 degrees. As you get further and further and further away, it gets higher and higher into the sky. So that's why there is a big gap here in the radar coverage for the Tri-Cities area and the thumb. You can also see on the velocity data here that the wind continues to expand a little bit further south. It's heading now more towards the Owendale area instead of Bad Axe. But again, Bad Axe, Elkton still in that severe thunderstorm warning. You still want to be ready to take shelter when that storm gets close. Out of an abundance of caution, you probably be taking shelter right now anyways, but the arrival time for Bad Axe is within the next 10 minutes. Although it is moving slowly and further south, it might be within the next 20. One in the chat behind the scenes so I can see what you guys are saying. Also, shout out to Jeff L. and Susan S. for donating jewels over here on YouTube. Thank you guys very much. Did we just get a new velocity scan in? It looks like we did. Also good news, they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning about 40 minutes early. So we are out of warning.
I'm going to assume.
I was gonna say we're out of warning ops, but there still is gusty winds up there in the thumb area. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm going to assume there's probably some stations along the thumb area that are measuring wind gusts. I'm going to see if I can't access some of those.
Mm-hmm.
22 miles per hour at Bayport. 22 in the bay itself.
That's not bad at all.
Yep.
I think the main reason they did issue that severe thunderstorm warning was for the water spout potential.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But in order to get a severe thunderstorm warning, for those who are curious, you do need at least to hit the criteria for wind or for hail. And the baseline for wind is 60-mile-per-hour wind, so. They did update the special marine warning as well. They upped the wind, actually, to 50 knots and continued the water spout possible tag. that was previously 40 knots in waterspouts is now 50 knots in waterspouts. So if you're on inner Saginaw Bay, that's anywhere in that blue box you see on your screen, that is the special marine warning. That's the equivalent of a severe thunderstorm warning over the waters. The only alert we have in effect on land right now is that special weather statement. It is for 50-mile-per-hour winds and pea-sized hail. It is the tan box you see on your screen. Encompasses primarily the Zilwaukee and Saginaw area. That rain is moving into downtown Saginaw within the next 5 minutes. As a reminder, the text does read, if you are at the Saginaw African Cultural Festival, you should be seeking safe shelter immediately, as well as anyone that is just out and about in downtown Zilwaukee, Saginaw, even down towards the Bridgeport area. Also Buena Vista, Carlton, and Shields all in that statement. Actually, Shields is not in that statement. There, actually, yes, they are. I was looking at our bulletin. Sorry to confuse everyone. We did get a report of a scud cloud. That's a nice looking scud over there on our MSC app.
I do have the Frankenmuth camera pulled in as the storm approaches the area, courtesy of Jan's professional dry cleaners. So far, nothing too visually appealing, but you can definitely tell it's getting closer and closer. So
This is probably one of the best shelf cloud / scud cloud reports we've seen in this line so far, besides what we had showing on our Bayport camera earlier in the stream. But that comes from Spencer. He's looking, I don't think that's right. He says he's looking southwest, but he's southwest of the storm to begin with. I think the compass was inverted. But thank you, Spencer, for that report. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys for sending in your reports through the MSC app this afternoon. Again, it's free to download on your App Store and Google Play Store. For those who have Samsung and we're waiting for it to come out on Samsung, yes, it is out. It's been out for a couple weeks now. Go ahead and head over to the App Store, hit that download button today. Download it for free.
yeah, that wind signature out of Zilwaukee is definitely catching my eye as it moves toward Bridgeport and Frankenmuth.
Mhm.
Curious to see if they were to warn that one too.
It is close. For those who are curious, yes, it's 10 miles per hour below severe limits right now.
Yeah, it's also very far away from the Detroit Pontiac radar, so the data that we're getting off of that is not always the best either. So it could be definitely gustier on the surface than what radar's showing.
Yeah.
I do see Spencer's report there on the app. That's very impressive.
It's page worthy, I think.
Have you been showing these off to the viewers?
Yes, I just showed that one off.
Okay, I don't have your screen pulled up, so.
I'm sharing my screen.
No, I know you are, but I don't have it pulled up. I'm using all fours.
Got it. That's weird. I haven't had the compass issue with my app, but I guess for some people are having the compass issue.
When they turn their camera one way, but it says the other.
Yeah. The MSC storm risk, by the way, on this storm is only at 4% right now. Primarily with a wind risk leading the way, which makes sense. The one thing that these storms don't have going for them is they're not terribly tall. I noticed earlier today when I was looking at like the Port Austin camera, for example, those cloud tops are only up at about 30,000 feet. And even right now, the storm in the Bay City area, if I hover over it, is up to about 35,000 feet. So it's a respectable thunderstorm, but it's not those thunderstorms we saw, earlier this summer that were 40 to 50,000 feet tall. And again, the taller the storm, the more instability that it can tap into. So decent wind signature nonetheless in the Carlton and Zilwaukee area heading towards Buena Vista right now. But again, no warning yet at the current time. 44 mile per hour winds at 4,200 feet off the ground in the Zilwaukee area. It's on Sherman Road. We'll zoom in really far here. Sherman Road at Jefferson Street. About to cross over the river. It'll be M81 at M13. Yeah, if you guys have handheld anemometers as well, you can send those in as a wind report in the MSC app. Just take a picture of your anemometer, put it as gusty winds or something like that. These scans are coming in every 3 minutes right now, so I should have a new one in about a minute for our wind. As you mentioned, Ryan, it is heading straight for Frankenmuth, so we should start to really get a view on that soon.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here. And if you guys do have the MSC app and are experiencing gusty winds, I encourage you. I guess it's not sharing. Give me a second. It will be shortly. It is sharing. I encourage you guys to share in the MSC app any photos or videos of what's happening there in the Zilwaukee area, if you can do so safely. Again, gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour is going to be the main concern here. But the velocity continues to increase as it moves to the east southeast here toward Frankenmuth and the Vassar areas.
If we take a zoomed out look at the state right now, the only other action we have is the previously severe thunderstorm warned, wow, tongue twister, severe thunderstorm warned storm in the Sebewaing area and continues to slide more south than it was east. I'll keep an eye on that. It still has some gusty winds popping up in the Owendale, or between Sebewaing and Owendale areas at the current time, denoted by the brighter greens on the velocity radar. But the main concern right now is downtown Saginaw. Not severe. Winds up to 50, though. Those will bring down isolated tree branches, blow around unsecured objects. It is close to severe limits, but again, looking around the rest of the state, just some isolated shower activity. North of Lansing on US 127. Also a couple pop-up showers in the Detroit Metro and Ann Arbor Metro areas over towards Chelsea. Downtown Detroit looks like one firing off a lake breeze there. And then, of course, we have our cold front to the north. Temperatures could dip by as much as 10 degrees tonight, especially up here in northern Michigan, as they already are. A reminder, it is 82 degrees in Grayling and it is 72 degrees in Traverse City right now. This cold front shouldn't bring much in the way of severe weather, but we could see briefly gusty winds for sure. And of course, an occasional downpour or two, as it is ultimately at the end of the day a source of lift in between two unstable bodies of weather here across northern Michigan. So keep that in mind. Main concern though is this open warm sector is what we call it, and it's primarily impacting the Thumb region. If you caught our severe weather outlook this morning, we had a level 1 risk in effect for the Saginaw Bay region. For a localized cell or two to get its strength together with the afternoon sun that's come in. It's 88 degrees in the Saginaw region right now. And that extra heat combined with some of the micro scale features in the area has allowed it to produce perhaps upwards of near severe winds at the current time. Primarily with the Bayport storm originally, but now looks like it's translating more to the cell to the south in between Saginaw and Indiantown. National Weather Service Detroit continuing the special marine warning for waterspouts possible. Wind gusts up to 50 knots for the storm on inner Saginaw Bay. Yes, we will still take any sort of damaged photos in our Messenger or Facebook comment section. But again, the fastest way to do it now with the release of our app is going to be through the app itself. So again, if you'd like to utilize the app report feature, download the MSC app today, free to do. You guys in the Tri-Cities region are awesome. All the reports coming in right now. I appreciate them so very much.
You can start to see the shelf cloud coming into view here on the Frankenmuth camera.
Over there, the left side, bottom left.
That's where I'm looking to.
And you can see the top of that storm too. Again, not terribly tall. Yeah. It's a nice average 35,000 foot tall thunderstorm. If you have a private jet, though, you can fly over the top of that thing. This may be a little turbulent. Especially in that center of that updraft, which the center of the updraft is actually displaced over towards Munger and Reese, which is why it's still dragging it further east than it is south. Take a look at the echo tops right now. The better echo tops over here in Munger and Reese. So if there's going to be better development and maintained buoyancy downstream, it's going to be over here as it heads into western Tuscola County, which in fact it does look like it's still trying to do. So it will slide into or nearby Frankenmuth as it heads over towards probably the Reese and Vassar region within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Yes, if you're just tuning in, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning. It was actually for the storm up here in the Bayport and Seaboying area. It is no longer severe. While that storm was removing its severe warning, we got a new statement in effect for a second cell that is in the Saginaw area, just outside of Buena Vista, primarily heading towards Reese at the current time. Eric says, RFD felt here in Reese, west of Reese. Give for that report. There's definitely a surge. You can definitely, if you rock it back and forth, you can see how that segment here that passed through the Zilwaukee area has just pushed out further than the rest of the storm. And so that surge is your gust of wind upwards of maybe 50 miles per hour if the statement is truthful in the nature. And again, if you guys have those weather stations out there, those tempest or ambient weather stations, or even handheld thermometers, if it is safe to do so, feel free to record what you guys are seeing wind gust wise, because those wind gusts also mean a lot. It's the exact math on what is happening out there in terms of the wind, and the National Weather Service will utilize those reports versus, trying to go and look for damage. So right now, if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is eastern Lower Michigan, primarily the Tri-Cities area and the Thumb, and these storms are heading off to the southeast. Average speeds are about 30 miles per hour right now. Some of them are going around as slow as 20. But again, average speed is about 30 to 35. And these storms are going to be heading towards the I-69 corridor if they can maintain themselves within the next couple hours. It's also a race against time because it is 6:20 p.m. And as the sun starts to go down, we start to lose that surface space instability or instability overall. It is still moist out there. A lot of dew points in the low 70s, so these storms should still maintain themselves at least into the sunset time frame. But again, with time, these storms will begin to weaken, just not yet, as they head towards I-69 and perhaps I-94 north of Detroit. Thank you to Cars of London, Alyssa R., and CT Berry for sending an assortment of jewels over here on YouTube. Appreciate your support. New velocity scan coming in just a second. The surge of wind is still there, still visible.
Here comes a shelf cloud over the trees on the left side of the image.
Oh, wow.
It's getting a lot more defined here as it moves closer to the camera.
I might have you digital zoom that here in a second. There's a scud under there as well, which makes sense. A lot of moisture out there today. I do need the storm motion vector on this, but it is not available. I have to probably go into other settings here to check it out. I want to take a look at the storm relative velocity here. 299 at 22. I mean, with the storm relative velocity corrected here, you could make the case that there is some very weak rotation, or sorry, very broad rotation. But yes, very weak at the current time. This is more of an RFD surge, though, more than anything. As denoted there by that shelf cloud. So, we'll keep an eye on it, of course, but at the current time, this is more gusty winds than anything else. If you guys have the MSC Pro subscription in our app, the chances of severe with this are 8% right now, with damaging winds leading the way at 8%, tornado and hail less than 1.
Check out the anonymous report coming in from Reese, just northwest of Reese a few minutes ago.
It's a nice view.
Also, keeping a close eye just offshore of Wisner and Unionville. Watching that area very closely.
That could be our possible water spout that the National Weather Service continues to indicate here across the region. In fact, all of these regions do have some weak inflow to them right now. It's not the best. It's not the best signature we've seen, but again, it's so far away from radar. You never want to take your chances. So, again, if you are in any of these, or in the front of any of these storms right now, I would be on alert for brief funnel clouds. I wouldn't say that they would be anything too crazy, but again, it does look like there's just enough spin out there right now where some of these signatures could be producing brief funnel clouds. Again, funnel clouds don't do much damage. They could briefly touch the ground. If so, again, obviously you want to be taking shelter, but right now it's primarily just a wind threat. We'll keep an eye on them for sure. You're looking live at the Jan's Professional Dry Cleaners camera there in downtown Frankenmuth, looking north. A very nice looking shelf cloud there. Moves into view. That is, honestly, around that might be page worthy. Very nice looking shelf cloud there. And again, a lot of you guys are sending in reports as well behind the scenes. We appreciate you for doing that as well. I will say this disclaimer, just because I'm looking through our reports right now, I won't single anyone out, but if you are submitting a report through the MSC app, please do so when you are pulled over, not while you're driving. Again, the hands-free law is in effect for a reason. Don't want you to, break the laws trying to get a storm report. So please don't do that. Pull over to the side of the road if you do have a report to send in. Thank you. I just saw one came in, and I won't single you guys out, but you know who you are. Just like looking at the shelf cloud right now. Again, there's no severe warnings in effect. Taking a look back at radar. Just that special weather statement in effect for the Reese, Frankenmuth area, where that camera is currently located. Surprised we don't have an extended special weather statement yet for the rest of Tuscola County. New scan coming in just a second. There we go. Yeah, still a very nice surge of wind right now, heading into the Frankenmuth area. Still also watching the Seaboing area and Owendale area to the north. Again, no statement on that, but these storms are starting to congeal into one line. Take a look at that Seaboing cam behind the scenes. That might show something. Nope, it's just showing rain. Too far away. Current time 6:27, and there we go. There's our new statement coming in.
I'll get it.
Sweet. Looks like it's primarily for the storms that are to the north here. They are not combining it into one big old statement. Um,
40 mile per hour winds is the only concern there with that new statement.
Yeah. The full text reads, strong thunderstorm will be impacting northern Tuscola and southwestern Huron counties through 7:15. 6:27, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms near Unionville, also near Akron, moving southeast at 20. As you mentioned, 40 mile per hour wind is the hazard. Radar indicated. Locations in the special weather statement include Cairo, Seaboing, Akron, Fairgrove, Unionville, Gagetown, Owendale, Ellington, Wisner, Colling, Colwood, Bach, and Bay Park. Torrential rainfall also occurring with this storm. The cell that has now moved on land with that special marine warning water spout possible still does show a little bit of tighter rotation compared to the other storms. Just down the road from Unionville. So if you're in Unionville, you have the MSC app and are able to safely do so. Point your cameras, also Akron, point your cameras to the north or to the west. Let us know what you guys are seeing with that cell right there. It's kind of pinched in between the other two storms right now, but that has the best rotation, quote unquote, in the area. At the current time, though, nothing of concern, nothing tight, nothing too crazy. Again, all these storms are below severe limits. It's just strong thunderstorms across the region. Both of our bulletins are now finished up here. Seaboing Cam would have the best view, but again, it's stuck in the rain right now. Just down the road from our area of interest. So to give you guys an idea here, oh, that's Ryan. No, that's me. It's like sharing the wrong camera. There we go. Countryside Transportation Service with this view looking southwest. Right into that core. There is also a merger ongoing with the Storm, Ryan. Unionville, Akron area. It does have that shape to it now as well. But the good news is there's a cell to the south that is kind of going to be running ahead of it. And so, you need clean inflow coming in from the south when it comes to rotating thunderstorms. Right now, as it stands, if this storm was to rotate a little bit stronger, it's kind of inhibited by some of these lighter rain showers that are directly to the south here across the area. Do we have any of our MEDAR stations working? They were working.
The winds in Frankenmuth are beginning to pick up as this gust front's passing over the camera.
You have your camera back live?
Yeah, the camera should be live.
Hope that's you. You have...
That's incorrect. I don't have that on.
Is that... Oh, hold on. There we go. I turned on manual screen share and it was for me. It's a foot.
Something is afoot here.
Yeah, it's a scud foot. Very cool. This has been our first kind of bit of... Wow, that's... Not sure how true that is heading into Vassar, but looks like it's pretty gusty along the edge there. This is our first severe thunderstorm warning since last week. It's been about 5 days now, I think. So stormy to begin last week, and then it's just been kind of gloomy second half of last week. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at mesoanalysis here. Kind of curious how well maintained these storms are going to be in this area of the state. Good surface vorticity corridor there, as always. Subpar lift. There's decent just surface space. There's just decent fuel in general, but there's not enough downdraft, Cape, to get those stronger 60-mile-per-hour winds out there at the current time that I'm seeing on Meso. So these winds are kind of just teetering on the edge of severe so far this afternoon, or sorry, should I say this evening, is now 6:35 p.m. here at MSC. Cloud tops, by the way, the one on a restorm is now up at 40,000 feet officially. Storm continues to maintain itself across the recent Vassar region. If you're in Frankenmuth and Vassar, let us know what you guys are seeing. We do have Ryan's cam that is showing the Frankenmuth, I believe. And the wind, indeed. Wow, the clouds on the right side of the screen are zooming. Holy cow. It's a lot faster.
If the radar is accurate, we're going to see an increase in wind speed here as the rain hits. We'll see if that actually translates.
Yeah. That's courtesy again of Jan's Professional Dry Cleaners in Frankenmuth. Appreciate them for that view. Looking at the brighter greens on radar right now, that is your velocity. So the wind. There's some pretty weird velocity signatures coming in from the Vassar region right now. Would not be surprised though if that is gusty winds of upwards of 50 to 60, but it's in such a weird spot right now. It's tough to tell exactly. So again, let us know what you guys are seeing at the surface in Vassar. We'll take any sort of reports through the MSC app if you guys have it in the Vassar area.
For what it's worth, there are no outages coming in from this area. Huron, Tuscola Bay do not have any outages. Saginaw has one customer out, but I wouldn't say we can't really confirm that's storm related.
Chances of severe weather right now still on these storms is hovering right around 8%. In fact, the Unionville storm just spiked up to 10. 8% chance of wind, 2% chance of tornado now on the Akron Unionville cell.
Yeah, it's been steadily increasing past couple of scans there. I'm keeping an eye on that area just south of Unionville to be exact. And as you mentioned, it's looking like it's drying, but there's just not many dynamics out there to really give it a boost. It's the thumb though, so I mean, weird stuff can happen.
So there's something happening in chat right now where there's comments being addressed about how we're not live sometimes. So as a reminder, again, we're live from beginning to end during any severe weather event. Anytime there's a severe warning in place. So if there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, we'll be live from beginning to end. This is now, I did the math actually today, 1,145 straight severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings covered in the state of Michigan. And again, we appreciate you guys who've been tuning in since then, or if this is your day one here at MSC. Again, we will not miss a severe storm here in the state of Michigan. So if there were strong storms out there that weren't covered, again, that's not really our policy. If there was a strong thunderstorm, it wasn't warned. And again, we don't technically have to be live for it. On occasion, though, like right now, when there are no warnings in effect, after a severe thunderstorm warning was previously in effect, we'll stay live out of an abundance of caution. So keep that in mind. We will not be live for every strong storm, but we will definitely be live for every severe thunderstorm across the state of Michigan. It has now congealed into one storm officially. That merger has now successfully happened. And now the question is, what will it do with the storm to the south? These storms are getting closer and closer together. The northern storm is more of a right turning storm. The storm to the south is more of a left turn. So they definitely could combine as they head over towards the Marlette and Kingston area. Currently at half power in Reese. Thank you for the report there. Is anybody in the Mayville and Millington and Otter Lake area able to let us know what you guys are seeing up toward the Vassar area? Let us know. I'm kind of hawking our storm reports map right now, waiting to see if there's any photos to be submitted from this area.
Same.
It's because this does have a pretty decent signature on it. Whether it's wind or whether it's rotation, it's more likely the wind, given the surge, the bulge kind of on the front edge of the storm. But still, again, when it bulges so far out, you can get the wind where it hooks back into the north side of that storm, and it could produce brief rotation. So, again, just kind of watching out of abundance of caution right now in the Vassar area. It's directly over downtown Vassar. Continuing to track straight on down West Saginaw Road. It's going to be heading towards Mayville within the next 10 minutes. Actually, it's going to be more like the next 20. The thing is going slower than I thought. Each scan here is 2 minutes apart, so if I just keep boop, 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 yeah, it's going to be more like 20. Ryan, I see something just came in through our messenger.
I'm already in there right now.
From Millington looking at Vassar.
Yep, I'm already on it.
We do have a video report now officially coming in from Vassar of damaging winds. Video does not show
That audio
damaging
comes
winds.
through.
Yeah, no, I know.
That-
I know it does.
Just want to make sure.
From Nicole O. It's a pretty calm scene out there. But you can definitely tell the dark skies overhead are looming. Appreciate you, Nicole. In fact, that was, I believe, Nicole's first report. Or second. Just looking at some of the ingredients behind the scenes right now, it's kind of an average day out there. If there was going to be something severe, it's kind of that borderline, hey, you know, there's enough ingredients where something could happen. But again, we've seen better environments this summer for sure. So again, our stress levels right now, very, very low. Still, though, it could be gusty as this line of storms moves through. There's still special weather statements out there right now for 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. Would not be surprised, again, just seeing how today has been happening so far. And there's also what we call surface vorticity gradient coupled with a 3 Cape gradient out there in the thumb right now that is higher the closer you get to Lake Huron. And so especially with these storms that are closer to the Cass City area, those storms might produce, you know, a little bit more in the way of rotation. Could not rule out a brief funnel cloud threat. Now again, funnel clouds, those don't usually touch down on days like today. They might, not saying that they will, for example, but they might. Again, they would produce brief land spout or EF0 type damage. Again, if you do see a funnel, obviously you want to let us know. But again, most of the cases today, these funnel clouds are going to be rather harmless. So for those who live in the thumb, though, you guys are all too familiar with the funnel clouds that happen out this way. Seems like it happens 20 times a year, maybe even more. Was there anything from that Millington report to pass along, Ryan? Okay.
Negative.
Sounds good.
Just a shelf clap.
Anything you see on radar right now, are your gusts, or anything that you see that is in bright green on radar right now, hovering over these pixels, is around 35 miles per hour or higher. And there's a couple regions right now of those gusty winds, Frankenmuth to Vassar. We also have secondary storm Akron area and a tertiary storm in the Gagetown and Cass City area. Especially this tertiary storm, this was the one that was severe warned earlier. as it came in through the Bayport and Caseville area. This has continued to slide south, while the storm here in the Frankenmuth area has continued to slide more southeast. So storm motion says that eventually these storms should combine into one as it gets closer down towards the I-69 corridor. It just might be another hour to an hour and a half before it does so. It's slowly getting closer and closer together, but we're not there yet. As a reminder, please do not send in false reports in the app. I will hand out strikes. If you just reported heavy snow in Caro, you are getting a strike right now. Please don't do that. If you get enough strikes, you will be removed from reporting in the app. Tracy in chat says wind is picking up in Millington big time. Do you have an estimate on that if it is safe to do so? It is absolutely not snowing in the Caro area. Justin, don't entertain it. I had to strike somebody earlier, Ryan, who reported about every single severe report under the sun. And it took up about half the page when I clicked on the notification. So that storm, by the way, is still up to the north in the Caro area that is not producing snow. 10% chance of severe odds still on it. 7% chance of wind, 1% chance of tornadoes. Storm in Vassar is at 8%, primarily wind driven at 8% chance of wind. When we say a chance of severe, it's a combination of all three hazards, and it may not be the exact same math combined for each individual hazard. So, for example, it actually just downgraded. Nope, it just upgraded again. The Caro storm, it says 10% chance of severe. However, if you break it down into individual chunks, it's 7% chance of wind, 1% chance of tornado, and less than a 1% chance of hail. So again, severe is just a general overview of one of those three hazards happening, and it's broken down to the other three hazards underneath. There's also more showers forming behind the outflow boundary up in north of Bay City. Nothing concerning there right now. Also still showers out in front of the line down in Owasso and St. John's. Nothing concerning there. And our showers that were in Ann Arbor area and Chelsea area have disintegrated it into water vapor that is just not there anymore. So we'll continue to keep an eye on these storms as they roll into Tuscola County and eventually over towards Sanilac County. While we wait, shout out a couple of our trusted partners right now while we do so. First up, A-Class Construction and Restoration. The number there at the bottom of the screen for all of these trusted partners can be found and written down as need be. American Arbor, our trusted partner of the day and located in Southwest Michigan. Apex Restoration, if you're located in Genesee County or the Thumb region. Apex is your go-to there. Battle Creek IT for all of your IT needs across Battle Creek area. And for any equipment rental needs, Carlton Equipment Company and Crystal Flash for all of your fuel and propane delivery needs across the state of Michigan. Continue to read those off as we go throughout the stream here. If we stay out of severe ops for too long, if it's been a decent enough gap between the last severe thunderstorm warning and additional severe thunderstorm warnings being issued, we will probably hop off and just be in standby behind the scenes. At the current time, there is no severe warnings in effect, just a special weather statement in effect through 7:15 p.m. for portions of Huron and Tuscola counties. Ooh, good video just came in from an anonymous user, Ryan here, south of that storm in the Millington area. Kind of similar to what we've been seeing. Nice looking shelf mixed with scud. Here you guys go. This is the report that just came in about 3 minutes ago from an anonymous user, their first report. Appreciate it. Nice raggedy looking shelf cloud there with some scud underneath. A lot of moisture out there today and extends all across the horizon back there to the west. I presume that's the west because the storm motion that's coming in. Thank you very much for that. Oh yeah, look at all that scud. A lot of moisture being pulled up into that storm right now out there in the Millington area. Again, courtesy of that anonymous viewer in the same location. Great shots coming in from the Millington area right now. Eventually, with time, this is going to actually slide into more of northern Lapeer County as well before it reaches Sanilac County, if it can hold together, of course. So if you're in locations on the north side of Lapeer County, like North Branch, Barnes Lake, Fostoria, which is technically still in Tuscola County, and Clifford, also towards Columbiaville as well. If it continues to slide a little bit further south, maybe Columbiaville, but mostly North Branch and points north here in the northern part of Lapeer County. That is the areas to look out for moving forward. Another lightning bolt just appeared finally for the first time in about 15 minutes, just north of Mayville. Looking at some of our other products, cloud tops are still up there at around 32,000 feet. Not much of the way of rotation. That Karo storm is really starting to fall apart. Primarily due to the fact that there's that rain shield out in front. Not clean inflow right now with that storm. So the rotation that was previously there that we were watching has kind of fallen apart inside of itself right now. Could get its strength back together if it can clear out that rain out in front, but right now, not really seeing that at the current time. We do have another statement coming in though.
Fairly big statement as well.
Are they finally doing a
blanket
one for all of the storms? Looks like it.
You got it. Once again, 40-mile-per-hour winds is the only concern listed.
Full text reads, strong thunderstorms impacting Tuscola, southwestern Sanilac, central Lapeer, and northeastern Genesee counties through 8 o'clock. At 6:54, the operator was tracking strong thunderstorms along the line extending from Cass City to Mayville to Millington, moving southeast at 30. As you mentioned, Ryan, 40-mile-per-hour winds. Radar indicated the impacts from this line of storms could be gusty winds knocking over downed tree limbs and blowing around unsecured objects, likely lighter limbs in nature. Inside of the special weather statement, cities will be Lapeer, Karo, Vassar, Sandusky, Cass City, Marlette, Brown City, Millington, North Branch, Mayville, Columbiaville, Otisville, a lot of villes out there, Kingston, Otter Lake, Gagetown, Clifford, Lum, Burnside, Ellington, and Elmer. Torrential rainfall is also occurring with this thunderstorm and may lead to localized flooding. starting to turn into our bobs, our big old blobs. A blob with 40-mile-per-hour winds. For some reason, I don't know if it's on your end as well, Ryan, but I can't see the special weather statement yet on the MSC desktop app. Has popped in on GR2 though. So there's your new statement. Anywhere in that new tan box out in front extends all the way down towards Lapeer and Sandusky. Very far out in front right now. As these blobs continue to move off to the southeast. Janelle says, I wish we had a Whoville. Add to the list of Whovilles, or a list of the villes out there in general. Well, unfortunately, in Michigan, we do not live in a Dr. Seuss book, so that is not possible. But we appreciate the thought. It's the thought that counts. Also shouting out a couple more of our trusted partners. We got Ink Media for all of your digital marketing and website design needs. Cats Roofing and Siding, covering the Lansing and Potterville region. Kuiper Tree Care, tree-related needs in West Michigan. For Southeast Michigan, it's McKay Tree Specialists. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, if you're watching right now in Sanilac and St. Clair counties, is your go-to there. And if you're over in Livingston County and surrounding areas, On Top Roofing. For all of your roofing needs there. PFCU Credit Union, also for the best banking needs across southern Lower Michigan. The TLDR of right now is these storms are, the word to use here would be boring in nature, but we love boring because that means no risk or impact to those who are in the way of this line of storm. So that's good news. Unfortunately, we do still have to keep an eye on these storms though, because these winds could be up to around 40 miles per hour. If you're in the Millington area right now, you're likely experiencing those. Sliding down towards the Otter Lake, North Branch, Clifford, Marlette areas with time. Also Snover and Sandusky also inside of that special weather statement box. If you're up to the north, Ubley, Midland City, Deckerville, it'd be more in the way of just normal rain versus the wind component. So good news there. Mainly just rain, much needed in a portion of the state that is starting to see abnormally dry conditions. The cell in Owasso, take a look at CDR here. It's just spitting out continuous cells over and over again, but they're not growing taller than 25,000 feet. So that's good. Just be advised, if you're in the Durand area, some decent downpours heading your way. Nothing of concern at the current time there. Main thing to watch is the Millington to Kingston area. Current time is now just past 7 o'clock here on August 16th. Yes, this is the only severe weather in the state, technically not even severe. 4 portions of the thumb If we take a look to the north where our cold front is situated, there are a couple isolated showers and storms up here, but less strong at the current time. The only concern right now would be the Harrisville area, where that cell has continued to show strengthening in terms of wind heading towards Mikado. Or was it Mankato? Oh no, I just said this one too. I forgot.
Mankato.
Yeah, it's Mankato. Lincoln and Mankato area heading towards Harrisville. Some gusty winds in there, hovering over it. Some pixels, maximum 30 to 35 right now is basically the borderline of a special weather statement. So just notice a decent updraft on that, but not much in the way of hail at all at the current time. Go ahead, Ryan.
Nothing.
Okay. You cleared your throat like you wanted to say something. As I notice there's a cell offshore from Port Huron again. And you can see the entire storm in view on the Port Austin camera. Courtesy of Thumb Cooling and Heating, as well as Port Austin Hardware. To the north, beautiful night out there in Port Austin. There's one lone cell that is heading this way, and you can see just how short these storms are out there today. They're not bad, about 25 to 30,000 feet up. Just really cool sight. Check that out. We zoom in, you can kind of see those updrafts continuing to blossom up there. There's some cool science. A little bit more to the right. There we go. That's a really good camera too. I think our Port Austin camera is one of our best. And you can just see how quickly those clouds just blossom up. From a distance, it doesn't look like they're moving up that quickly, but the rate of ascent on some of these clouds, in some cases, is 10 meters per second. So imagine getting thrown upwards in an elevator at 10 meters per second. It's about the speed of these storms and how they're raising up very, very quickly there. So very, very cool view. And yes, this is live. This storm is, I would have to measure it exactly. I don't know if you want to do a quick measurement from your end, but I think that's, at least 25 miles offshore probably. And we can see the detail in the storm that's that far away from Port Austin.
About 19 miles.
Okay, so about 20. I'm now maximum zoomed in. But very, very cool. Very mesmerizing. Looks like there's a new layer of scud developing underneath it as well. It looks like a dragon. Or an eel. I don't know, everyone name that shape. There's the face. Looks like it's a fin and a tail. This is heading towards Port Austin. Eventually, if it can stay together. Almost due south movement on that. Maybe slide a little bit to the east. That is the entire storm. A dolphin. I could see it. Eel, muskie, yeah, everyone's on the theme of fish here. Or aquatic creatures. Switch back to radar. The Loch Ness Monster. Good one. Wind continues to show itself primarily in the Millington area. Some pixels here heading into Otter Lake of about 35 to 40 still. So that's right around the threshold for the statement that is currently out there. Chances of severe on these storms right now are under 8%. So we're doing pretty good right now. Not really that close to severe limits at the current time. Just some big old blobs out there rolling southeast across the thumb. Julie is trolling by saying it's a heat lightning shaped cloud. Every time Julie brings up heat lightning, I always get the opportunity to say heat lightning doesn't exist, which breaks more hearts. So, ooh, that's a good one. It's sea lamprey. Yeah, I can see it. Meanwhile, there's a random comment that I just happened to look at. I wonder if the heavy use of hairspray during the 80s contributed to the 88 heat wave. What? I mean, yeah, there was a lot of hairspray used back then, but come on now. You guys are funny. I'm in the same boat as you, Ryan. Just, huh? Goodness. Anyways. Where are we at in our list of trusted partners? We'll go ahead and rattle the rest of them off here. There we go. Rainbow Restoration. If you're in Kent County and surrounding areas for your restoration needs, Rainbow Restoration you go to. Also, if you need any LTE wireless walkie-talkies to use, whether across the state or across the nation, Rapid Radio's got you covered. Ronald McDonald House Charities of Detroit. Great charity to donate to there. You can call the number on the screen to get started today. ServPro, covering the entire state, 24/7. Storm Guard Metro Detroit North, covering Oakland, Macomb, and Washtenaw counties for all of your home and exterior home construction needs. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors, based out of West Michigan. Top Notch Tree Care, located in between Lansing and Jackson, covering that region of 127. And lastly, Victor's Home Solutions, located in the Tri-Cities area. And I also should mention, we do have a new trusted partner that just got signed on. And I believe it is Boss Snowplow, located in Mason. So thank you very much to Boss Snowplow for joining us for the winter of 26 and 27. You'll see more of them here along with the rest of our trusted partners into the new year. Definitely looks like more of a embedded hat now. Our distant cloud there from our thumb cooling and heating Port Austin hardware camera there in Port Austin looking north. I don't know if you can also see it out in the distance, but that Harrisville storm is... Oh, okay. Well, get back here. There we go. The Harrisville storm is way out there in the distance, like beyond the sight line of the camera, but that would be maybe heading down towards the Port Austin area. But neat looking cloud out here. We're just kind of cloud watching right now, waiting for any sort of other alerts to come in. If you guys are curious about the radar right now, these gusty winds are now in Otter Lake, up to around 40 miles per hour, heading up towards Columbiaville next, also bypassing Otisville on the edge of that special weather statement. Primarily in the northeastern corner right now of Genesee County.
I'm going to pop out of here, Joel.
Okay.
If you need me, just yell at me.
Okay. Sounds good. Everybody say bye to Ryan. We just got a report in 2 minutes ago of the clouds in Otisville from Dakota R, one of their first reports. Very turbulent sky out there in Otisville right now. Thank you very much for that report. Kind of, it looks like you're actually beneath or behind the leading shelf from that vantage point. Go ahead and switch over here so you guys can see what I'm seeing. It's very, very cool. Nice and turbulent up there in the atmosphere. A lot of swirls going on. And again, you'll notice here on our MSC app that there is a built-in compass. So it also shows you which direction you're looking when you turn the camera around. Now, this camera or this compass does work for pretty much everybody. For some locations, I guess it's not working as well, but again, this does a pretty good job indicating which direction you're looking as you point your camera around. Maybe just be careful before you start recording your video that it is collaborated so that it is facing the right way. But again, thank you so much to Dakota R out there in Otisville for that view. Dakota reported drizzle and breezy with the storm as it passes by Otisville. 3% chance of severe on it right now. So we're starting to lose the numbers on it. Losing its moxie. The cell down here in Swartz Creek finally has a circle on it now for a 1% chance of severe. So there's enough of an updraft now where there is a circle around it from the storm risk data, but right now that is not a cell of concern. The best odds right now are still the storm in the Kingston area at 7%. Again, if you would like to check out this storm risk data for yourself, you can find it in the MSC Pro version of our MSC app. It is optional to subscribe to. But again, if you are a fan of Pro Radar and checking out, obviously this is your normal rain radar, reflectivity, but you also have velocity radar, so your wind, storm relative velocity, which is a better wind radar, correlation coefficient if you wanted to use it for debris or hail being tumbled around, just a bunch of other radars as well. They are all there in the Pro version of the app, so feel free to check it out. You can search for Michigan Storm Chasers on iOS or Google Play. I know for the Samsung users who are waiting for a while, yes, it is out now, and yes, a lot of bug fixes have been done. So feel free to go ahead and download today. Yes, the big question that keeps coming in is, will they maintain themselves as they head towards southeast Michigan? There's a chance, just with how much humidity is out there today. However, it's not a guarantee. Again, you get closer to sunset, we're losing that surface-based instability out there right now that heats up the ground. You know, it gets cooler as you get into the nighttime hours. So a lot of our instability is based higher in the sky above what we call an inversion. So it'll be a lot harder for these storms to kind of maintain themselves as the night goes on, but we should still see storms in some capacity, at least through the sunset time frame tonight, just because of how humid it is out there in general. So these storms should survive at least to the 69 corridor. They may make it down along 75 and into the 94 corridor here in Macomb County later on. Just might not be for the next 2 hours. So they're moving off the southeast at a good clip, just not as fast as you would imagine. So about 30 miles per hour is the storm motion right now, at least according to the special weather statement. This special weather statement does expire at 8 o'clock. No problem. Appreciate the kind comments, everyone. If you guys have been leaving kind comments in chat, you guys rule. We appreciate you. It's no fun when we're dealing with negativity. I'm just trying to help you guys out. Also, looks like we have Jim Measley, sending 440 joules over here on YouTube. Appreciate your support. We'll wait until 7:30 on an abundance of caution. If there are no warnings by the time we get to 7:30, we'll go ahead and hop off. We'll take a break. We'll keep an eye on the storms behind the scenes. But right now, again, we'll stay live for the next 14 minutes here as this line continues into Lapeer County at the current time. And we do have we have a couple Lapeer cams that we can kind of turn to while we wait. We have the infamous Lapeer cam, also known as the Ladeer cam. The inside joke here is the first time we use this camera, there were deer spotted on it. And not only were there deer spotted, but they were spotted doing, well, they were doing the number 2 right on camera. They were synchronized doing the number 2. So if you guys have missed the MSC lore of the Lapeer camera when it was introduced, I think a couple months ago now, that was its welcoming gift, and I'll never forget it. Here is that live view. That Lapeer camera. Oh, come on. There we go. This Lapeer camera comes to us live from 3Dimensional Services Group located on the southwest side of town. This is a PTZ camera, so I can turn it. That's looking north, and then over here is looking to the west. And I believe this is the storm that we need to be looking at here that is approaching the camera. Tough to tell though. There's the camera there's the storm to the north here. That one is going to be more of the Kingston cell. So I have a decent sight line out there right now. Hello, individual who is walking down there. I wonder if he follows MSC and recognizes this area. Maybe he'll run into the deer. Who knows? It does look like we have still a decent base out there in the distance. So a lot of moisture out there tonight. We'll see these perhaps a little bit of a non-rotating wall cloud, but also mainly shelf clouds out there tonight. And these shelf clouds are indicative of gusty winds moving down and out away from the storm. We have a clip of it in Discord. Yes, we do. Also, a friendly reminder that we do have a Discord server. We'll plug that real quick. Discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. Also, if you're listening and you have weather anxiety, we do have a weather anxiety group, or a room in the server that you guys can become a part of. Highly recommend. Also, when you do join the Discord server, make sure that you follow all the rules when you do join. We don't want you to get kicked. In the server cleaning, make sure that your username does follow the first name county format when you do join. So that way we know, hey, if we want to give you advice, we know that you live in this county and that you guys are all good. So just some housekeeping if you guys are going to join the Discord server. It feels wrong to view the deer cam without Ryan. Well, it's okay. We'll be fine. I think just because we are in the middle of severe weather coverage and it's been a while now we've been live, we're going to go ahead and postpone our Sunday Night Weekly to tomorrow night instead. Tomorrow's going to be a very clear day no matter what. We may have a couple passing showers out there, but we don't expect severe weather tomorrow. We'll talk about the week ahead tomorrow night. Also, once we're done with this severe weather coverage, I do plan on getting our 7-day outlooks up on the page. So if you guys are following us over on Facebook, Instagram, or X, where our social media posts happen, those will be up sometime within the next hour, I imagine. So by probably 8:30, you should see those on the page. So make sure you're following us there on Facebook primarily for all of our posts, but also on X and Instagram. Our username is @MIStormChasers. Someday, for those who do have our MSC app right now, guys, for those of you who are MSC diehards and have downloaded the app, we do plan on bringing some sort of form of our Facebook feed over into the app, so that way you don't have to jump back and forth. It'll just all be there localized within the app. It's a one-stop shop. And eventually, of course, as well, our live severe weather coverage will also be viewable in the app as well. We'll have our YouTube live streams embedded right in the app. So you don't have to go to YouTube app itself. It'll just be embedded probably straight in the app. But that is in the works right now. Our dev team is hard at work right now. And again, they have a lot of work ahead. We appreciate them for all they've done so far to this point. We are still waiting to see what happens here. Guess while we wait for the next 8 minutes, while these storms are continuing to push across the landscape, we'll go into music mode for you guys. Not sure how loud this is going to be. There we go. So we'll be back at 7:30 or sooner if there's no severe weather coverage, but we're going into music mode only right now. So enjoy the vibes as we take a little break. We're back. Up here in the top of your screen. Shelf Cloud continuing to come to view at the three-dimensional services group camera in Lapeer. Raggedy in nature. Sign of some gusty winds moving in. And it is starting to combine with the complex to the south. These cells as they roll into perhaps Oakland County. Some gusty winds on them, but at the current time, we have not seen any need to stay live with this line. Again, 40-mile-per-hour winds are possible. The special weather statement with the atmosphere out there today, would also not be surprised if we did see perhaps a couple instances of brief funnels, but we'll see. Also, before we go, check out that storm in Port Austin. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And that is just the tiniest of cells to the north. Courtesy of Thumb Cooling and Heating. Oh, I gotta change it here so you guys can indulge with me. There we go. Thumb Cooling and Heating and Port Austin Hardware. Beautiful. Shelf cloud in the distance. You can see the entire top of the storm. That shelf cloud rolls all the way back off to the west. Yeah, the smallest of cells with the prettiest of shots. It's just this tiny little storm out here north of Port Austin. It's continuing to slide more to the east now. It may not even graze the mainland area, but it's still gorgeous nonetheless. Still watching our storms down here in the Lapeer area. There's a decent outflow boundary on this line. From Montrose, Mount Morris to Davison over to Lapeer. Could be gusty along that outflow boundary, but at the current time, nothing is at severe limits. The cell in the Grand Blanc area has a couple pixels gusting to 35. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a break from the stream in general. We'll leave you with this last view of the Port Austin camera. Courtesy of Thumb Cooling and Heating and Port Austin Hardware. And again, we'll take a break. We've read through all of our trusted partners. We appreciate them very much. Also to all of you guys that have donated. Appreciate you as well. And again, for anyone that just supports for free, liking and sharing as always goes a long ways in terms of spreading the word for what we do here at MSC. But for now, we'll keep an eye behind the scenes for any sort of inclement weather that may be coming our way, but no severe warnings currently in effect. Just a special weather statement for portions of Lapeer and Sanilac counties till 8 o'clock for gusts up to 40. Moving to the southeast about 30 miles per hour. It's all you need to know. The Grand Blanc storm also has a little bit of a core on it. Saw some heavier reds there for a second. Looks like it's downbursting right in Grand Blanc right now. So be advised, some gusty winds to about 35 there in Grand Blanc. But right now we're going to go ahead and take a brief little break. And if more severe warnings come in, we'll go ahead and come back here live. We're going to be watching behind the scenes no matter what. So you don't have to worry. Once a warning pops in, we'll be here tracking it. We're also going to be watching the radar and may push custom bulletins on the MSC app. So if you guys have the MSC app and you live in this area where the storms are coming, you might see MSC weather bulletins coming across saying, hey, we're watching this storm. You know, it's not severe, but you need to be watching for occasionally gusty winds, frequent lightning, maybe some torrential downpours, stuff along that line. So again, good way to get custom alerts from obviously the National Weather Service, but from us here at MSC. Is to go ahead and download the free Michigan Storm Chasers app. It's available on iOS and Google Play app stores. It's been out since the end of July. So if you're just getting the word now, it's never too late. Feel free to go ahead and download it for free. Just checking our last comments here. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and roll the outro. Relaxed Gamer giving me some props here. Thank you very much, Relaxed Gamer. I was in jazz band, yes. I was in all the bands. Marching band and jazz band. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hop off. Some lightning in the Sandusky area right now with that storm, but other than that, no other lightning out there. So we'll go ahead and take a break. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritz. I'm signing off for now. We'll be watching behind the scenes. We'll be back here for more severe weather coverage, maybe part 2 later this evening, if severe weather is heading into southeast Michigan. Take care, everyone. If we don't see you tonight, we'll probably see you back here tomorrow for Monday Night Weekly. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you guys soon.